Well, US political analyst Beth Gardner joins us now. Good to talk to you, Beth. Melania Trump, how useful is it, do you think, her intervention, her giving these interviews as part of Donald Trump's campaign?
Well, I think that remains to be seen. She really has been pretty invisible over the last few months on the campaign trail since she got herself in trouble by lifting from Michelle Obama's speech when she gave her own speech at the Republican convention. Over the past week, since that very damaging tape of Donald Trump emerged, Melania has been very quiet. She did speak out last night and today in these two interviews, as you said. I'm not sure how helpful it's going to be. There were, the headlines that came out of yesterday's interviews were, the one where she was seemed to be kind of trying to excuse her husband's behavior. Really dismissed it as sort of boys talk, which has been his line. But she also said that Billy Bush, the TV presenter who had been on the bus on that tape with Donald Trump, had egged on Trump, really trying to sort of offload blame and responsibility. And she also talked about this feeling that she has two children at home, that she has to look after her 10-year-old and her husband. I'm not sure that's something that people are looking for in a president. So obviously, she was trying to sort of, humanize and soften the edges a little bit on him. But I think it remains to be seen how effective that's going to be. He's got a very steep hill to climb with women now.
And what about Bill Clinton? A lot of people have said that he's a liability to Hillary Clinton's campaign. She, of course, knows exactly what it's like having to be the partner of somebody running for this kind of office. He did dodge really commenting directly on Trump's behaviour. That was probably wise, given his history and his background, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You could see him in that clip that you just showed trying mightily to stay on message, and he did manage to do it. It's been an interesting year for him. In some ways, he's been quite effective at the Democratic convention over the summer. He gave a long speech that was really quite, loving and powerful, and he managed, to many people's surprise, to talk about Hillary, not himself, for the length of a, 45-minute speech. But obviously, Trump has been trying to put Bill's checkered history with women front and center. He brought those 3 Bill Clinton accusers and actually sat them in the audience at the debate last week. So obviously that puts Hillary in an uncomfortable position, and I think she's been a little bit hamstrung in her response to all of these this wave of groping accusations against Trump because of Bill's past. But also, I think she's also just taken the occasion to sort of step back and let the negative news about Trump kind of dominate the news over the past week as it has. And I think that Trump bringing up Bill's bad behavior in the past, I think the Republican Party would have preferred that he let that lie, because it may be very effective in kind of riling up his base, but the base is not enough to win the election. He needs to appeal to people in the middle, and the winnable people now are particularly women, moderate, sort of suburban, middle-class, educated women. The bringing up Bill's history is not effective at doing that for Trump.
When you look at Melania Trump and you look at Bill Clinton and you compare them to Michelle Obama, has she ever been anything but an asset to President Obama?
No, I don't think she has, and she's turned into really quite a powerful asset for Hillary Clinton this year, actually. It's quite interesting that I think probably the most important political spouse in this election is the one whose spouse is not on the ballot. We've heard for many years now, both from Michelle and from President Obama, that she really absolutely detests politics. She does not like campaigning. So she keeps herself pretty scarce on the campaign trail. That was true in her husband's 2 elections as well. She obviously feels very strongly this time around for, many reasons that are probably obvious. And that speech she gave the other day was, extremely powerful. She does not get down and sort of into the muck of the back and forth of the day-to-day politics. Even her husband has done that a little bit. You've seen President Obama sort of kind of take a bit of glee in the Republican crack-up that we've been seeing. The First Lady did not do that. This was a very, from the heart. It was a very emotional speech. She has a real sort of, emotional, authentic sort of human core that I think resonates with voters, and you've seen, and I think you will continue to see, Hillary deploying her around the country because she's a very powerful surrogate.
Beth Gardner, US political analyst. I'm sure we'll be talking to you a lot more before the election. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Still to come.